There was a giant shift in the meta this weekend. Let's dive in and see what went down. So over the last weekend, there were quite a few tournaments and some different color combinations came out on top. So I just want to go over a couple tournaments, look at a few decks, and see how things have shifted in just a few short weeks. So let's dive into this. Starting off, the first major one I wanted to take a look at was the Disney Lorcana Quest Tour number 5 in Poland. So I've already clicked on that. This one was mind-blowing. Not first, second, third, fourth, but even the top 8. 5 of the top 8 are running purple steel, and they're all fairly similar, so I won't like go through and spend a bunch of time on them, but it's pretty much the classic purple steel lineup. Most of the notable new cards you're going to be seeing from Chapter 10 is the Black Heron. It's a 2-cost, 3/3 presence on the board. Of course, Lexington. I feel like if you're running steel, Lexington's just going to be in there for you. Cheshire Cat is basically replacing the Bell, which still, Bell is not gone. That card is still a major threat, but Cheshire Cat coming out, being able to pay and put a card under him to move 2 damage, and getting him out on turn 3. Instead, in the past, you're holding Bell in your hand till turn 5. And then, of course, the Hades, looking for a deal. You're either getting rid of a character or drawing 2 cards, which card draw is always clutch when you're running purple steel. You've also got the addition of the Pluto, gaining 2 lore whenever one of your steel characters banishes another character, which sets up the potential for Calhoun to get 4 lore in one attack, in one challenge. It's crazy. You're also seeing the Demona exerting all characters, getting you card draw, and then of course he hurled his Thunderbolt, which is just like a ramped up, and then along came Zeus. So super awesome to see. I have been playing this deck quite a bit. Purple Steel is just super familiar with me. I'm also trialing out 2 other decks, which I'll show you at the end of the video. But yeah, I just wanted to show you 5 of the top 8 are running purple steel over there, but that's not the shakeup that I was referring to. It is the Star City Games Con Las Vegas, the Lorcana 10K that they had. The top 2 decks are both Ruby Amethyst. I did it. I didn't say red purple. Ruby Amethyst was the top 2. I've opened up both their decks. They're fairly similar. So here is the first place deck. Let me confirm. Yes, the first place deck. So you've got your turn 1s, your Diablo, your Palace Guard, the Tinkerbell that I'm seeing a lot of from the latest set. She's a 3/1. She's gonna disappear the moment you use her, but she's gonna take something with her at 3 challenge. That's impressive. And then turn 2, you've got a questing for 2 Diablo with a 3/3 stat line. Lumiere is just everywhere. Anyone running red, I just see the Lumiere. He's basically red's version of Madam Mim. He's giving you the +1 attack. Timothy Q Mouse basically coming out and getting extra lore when you have an evasive character in play. And of course, if you're running if you're running Amethyst, I'm going to get in the habit of saying the colors right. If you're running Amethyst, Cheshire Cat is just gonna be in there. It's a great boost character. He's inkable. It's a great addition. You're still seeing the Dumbos, Genies, but the biggest shakeup over the weekend, I want to say, was Ruby coming out with the Hercules and the Headless Horseman. The Headless Horseman was utilized so well over the weekend. I just caught up and watched Zach Bivens take on Baker, the Lorcana villain. And Baker is running the Headless Horseman with the Hercules. It is a very popular duo. Ruby is back, folks. They may not be prepared for the board wipe, but this Headless Horseman, the moment he comes out, he's banishing those Amethyst Genies. I mean, 2 challenge, you're gonna get rid of quite a few key characters. The new Cinderella is 2, so she's gonna go away with this card. I mean, I don't know. I love seeing Ruby Amethyst back in the mix. I played Ruby Amethyst at a set champs. I did extremely well with it. It was fun to navigate. It had quite a few answers, and I don't know, if you enjoy trading trading blow for blow and attacking and being a challenger, ruby is your color. So they've also got the David Xanatos, 1 copy, Demona, 4 copies for that card draw. I love seeing the return of the library. You're gonna get 1 lore every turn. It's gonna take 8 to get rid of this thing. And when your characters are banished here, you're gaining a card. You get to draw. So you've got your Tinkerbell in there. She's gonna wipe out a large target, but you're also going to get to draw a card. I mean, Elsa's gonna be in pretty much anything Amethyst. I love this deck. I will be putting it together. I think I'm only short a few Headless Horsemen, but an awesome viewer out there has worked up a trade with me, so they'll be coming soon. So I will actually be able to put together this deck. Very excited to run it. Let's take a look at that second place deck though. So I want to shift back and forth between the two. But right out the gate, I'm seeing more copies of Hercules, 1 less of the Headless Horseman, the Hades, that's the other Amethyst staple now. I mean, you're either getting rid of a card or drawing 2. Either way, it's a win-win for you. And you really throw your opponent's game off because now you're putting their own future in their hands. And it's very, like, when it gets played on me, it's extremely irritating for me. And I have to think, like, do I really want this person to get 2 more cards? And in some cases, like if they're gonna get the 2 card draw and you're gonna throw down like a Demona or Goliath, or yeah, the Demona, and shrink their hand down, that might work, but it is so frustrating thinking, okay, well, if I make this decision, how is this gonna affect me in the next turn or 2? And it's all on you. So that's why the Hades is just a great card. And I love like the motion that the Hades is just doing. It's like, hey, you gotta do something, make a choice, here you go. So, and again, they've got the library. I wanted to keep bouncing back. So they are using the first place used, they never come back. 2 characters, can't ready at the start of a turn. This second place deck, banish chosen character of yours in your hand, exert chosen character. So you basically get to force exert, do the Elsa move, but they're not running the other one. I like this one too. It's simple, it's not a ton of cards, but it's cool to also see Sisu came back because if you're discarding some cards, or excuse me, your opponent's hand is going to just ramp up this Sisu. So I like what they're doing here. You've got your evasive Elsa, Iago, Genie, and then the Dumbo, of course, to do your pay 1 ink to gain a lore and draw a card, because card draw, I'm telling you, card draw is so massive. And like starting with Fabled, card draw was very important. And looking over the top of these 2, red, purple, oh, I messed up. The Rumi Amethyst, first and second place. I did want to take a look at the third place deck because it is something else. Like maybe you don't have these crazy like 4 copies of this legendary, 4 copies of that legendary, 4 copies of Dumbo, and you're looking for something a little more budget friendly. This was the third place deck. Shout out to Shadax. I'm gonna mess up everyone's name, whether it's somebody playing Lorcana or one of the actual character cards. It's just bound to happen. But you've got the Emerald Amber aggro. So I love playing aggro from time to time, especially when I'm at Set Champs recording and I'm playing these long drawn out matches and it's like, hey, you have 5 minutes till your next matchup. I have to run outside, record as fast as I can, talk with a bunch of people running by me. I like playing aggro, so it's like, the game's over in 20 minutes, and then I have 40 minutes to go get snacks, record, think about my next moves. So I do want to take a look at this though. You've got so many aggro options. I mean, Bobby Zimmerowski coming out on turn 1 is going to let you look at your next card, whether it's something you want to keep or discard. Daisy's just here. She will be going away in rotation at some point, but for now, Daisy is here to stay. The last few times I've played her though, all it has done is helped out my opponent with getting more card draw, more characters into their hand. Finnick is here. You've got the lady. I mean, it's your classic dogs mixed with some of the new Amber energy. So you've got 3 copies of Ursula to yank songs out of your opponent's deck, or excuse me, their hand. But now you have the Mowgli edition, which not only removes songs, literally any non-character. So you can get rid of a location, an item, an action. For a 2 cost and a 1/2, like the stat line is not great, but what Mowgli does when he comes out, that's the impressive part. You've got your staple lady. When you play her on turn 3, you get to drop another 2 cost. The Go-Go Tamago is such a sneaky card, especially with so many people sitting with damage on their characters. There's a lot of like if you're playing some of these bigger characters and they're sitting with 4 damage, Go-Go Tamago can literally win the game for you. You're paying 2 ink to play her, and then 2 more ink to match the damage on someone and gain that much lore. I have personally lost games this way. I've won games this way, but imagine paying 2 ink for 4 lore. Like, that's unheard of, and that is what Go-Go Tamago can do, and evasive on top of that. The card is pretty solid. You've also got your Raja Bodyguard, which is a new one from Chapter 10. The Webby with Shift. I mean, we all know what the Tramp combination does. You're getting to drop Tramp in like way faster than turn 7. Once Tramp's out, you're singing together Under the Sea to do a partial small board wipe. But you've also got the Emerald Chromicon. Anytime one of your characters is banished, you get to bounce someone back to their hand. A lot of times that's helpful. A lot of times, so I played a similar Emerald deck against Blurple. That is one of those times where the Emerald Chromicon will kind of backfire on you, because the last thing you want to do is bounce that Elsa Fifth Spirit back to someone's hand, or you're bouncing the Hades back, and then once they drop them, you're just disappearing characters. Like, a lot of those characters that when they come out, they serve a purpose. Those are the last ones you want to bounce back. I'm trying to think if there's anything I would change with this. I mean, I love the dogs decks. So these things are just, and they're tricky decks too, because it's like, oh, you have this lady in play. Well, she's going to get extra lore when certain things take place. And in the past, I've had to like catch myself counting and reading people's cards, like staring very carefully, like, you haven't done much. Why aren't you doing anything? And then I realized, oh, when they do decide to quest, they're gonna get like 12 in one quick turn. So I love these aggro amber emerald deck, excuse me. And then Della's Moon Lullaby, choose opposing character gets -2. So that's how you're gonna Under the Sea some of the bigger characters. And again, you're only paying 2, which, I mean, it's a song. So any of these characters are singing that song, and then you've got Under the Sea, whether you're sing together with your Tramp and literally anyone else. I see it working. As I'm talking through it, I'm like, I'm totally gonna sleeve this deck up and bring it to League Night, because this is a lot of fun. I might actually get my kiddo on playing this, because he loves playing Emerald. He loves using the Chromicon. I think it would be a lot of fun. He's been currently playing an old Emerald Steel deck of mine, so I'm excited to get him on this and practice. While I'm talking about practicing and playing, I did get a lot of my new recording equipment, so I will be able to get those awesome overhead angles with recording. You might notice the audio sounds a little more crisp. I've got new microphones, a lot of new recording equipment, new lighting, new cameras. I'm going all in on this whole Lorcana thing. I'm truly living Lorcana. So I bought a lot of fancy recording equipment, so expect to see some gameplay videos soon. And I also am working on that how to play video. There's a lot of great ones out there, but now with some of the new mechanics, I think it'd be great to do one of my own. Somebody who did not know how to play at all and is now doing fairly well, I would say, at some competition levels that I've been a part of. Moving on though, with the first and second place being this Ruby Amethyst, let's take a look at some card prices. So the Headless Horseman is now officially $24. Here's what's great about this, because there's an enchanted. Your cold foil copy is literally cheaper than your normal copy. And look at this spike. It literally sat at like $7, $7. Oh, we had a big tournament over the weekend. $22, $24. Like, it's crazy. The last time I remember something as big as this happening was when DKP1 and Super Goof just like shot up. The Super Goof Enchanteds, everything went nuts. So not only did the Headless Horseman skyrocket, but Hercules went from, I mean, you can see where he was at pre-sale. He wasn't a big deal. He dropped down to the $3-4 range. Now he's already jumped back up. I mean, he's sitting at 958. Your first listing, I mean, 1150 plus shipping. So you're over 12 bucks for a Hercules now, which also makes me complaining and whining about pulling too many of them. Boo on me. I hope I learned my lesson. Like, it's crazy how much one tournament can shift like these cards, their values. So it's really neat to see, like, in this card, it jumps up to 15 after these first few listings. And these guys only have one copy, and then you've got 15 bucks from like a good verified seller, and they have 7 of them. So you're gonna see some crazy price fluctuations, which now that I'm here, I just wanted to take a look if I can do it really quick. The Cinderella. So I'm curious where she has dropped. I'm trying to like multitask. Yeah, see, remember when I said I was not going to buy this card at $70? All it took was a tournament weekend. Now she has dropped down. So her normal value is $41.28, but you can literally get one for under 40 bucks from this seller, Mana Grounds LLC. I mean, Carnivores, that is such a great store name. Carnivores is genius. Sorry, the dad jokes, and I'm a sucker for clever naming. But 38 bucks, 40 bucks. The foils, that's gonna be a totally different story, which is crazy because she does have an enchanted, and to still see the cold foil up that high is pretty wild. But those Sapphire players do love to bling out their decks. So, I mean, they probably drove the value up is what I'm guessing. And a lot of people ask, what am I playing these days? I will just give you a quick look at some of the decks that I'm currently playing. Now, this is pre this weekend. So last week I was playing this deck at League. It is just your go-to, I almost said purple steel. It is your go-to Amethyst Steel deck. So I love my Calhouns. I just know this color combination very well. It feels comfortable. And I am not playing an iconic Hades. I've never even seen an iconic Hades in person. When I do these, half the time when I copy and paste over my deck list, it finds like the coolest rarity looking version. But when I'm playing this, a lot of people ask, what do you play? What's your deck? This is my deck. If I'm going first, I play Diablo on turn 1 because I'm immediately gonna be getting rid of 2 cards, and I'm gonna want that card draw later. If I'm going on the draw, I'm usually playing Captain Hook or the Palace Guard. Just little things I do to shift my play up, but those are things that I'll cover when I'm actually doing some gameplay recording. I've got a couple buddies from League Night. We're gonna set up a space. We're gonna get some games in and do like mirror matches and other like popular meta combinations, whether it's with my deck or theirs. But between my group of friends, we have enough to make any of the popular decks happen, and we can play those. So this is again what I'm playing. I love the Lexington card. I still have Doc in there, even though I feel like Doc has just cursed me over and over. Like 1 out of 3 games, he'll show up when I need him. The other 2 games, he'll show up followed by top decking another one of him or drawing into him. Where at like one point I'll have 3 Docs in my hand. So that's why I don't run 4 anymore. And I'm tempted to drop that down even lower. But this is a look at one of the decks I'm running. I'll move on to the other one that I've had a lot of fun with. Zoolander's Final Move, Blue Steel. Get it? Okay. Moving on. So basically the whole point of this deck is to get a lot of ink and fast. So turn 1, you've got your hook. Turn 2, you're either playing Tipo or you're sailing the Azurite Sea. Also, as I'm talking about this out loud, I'm kind of blowing my own mind that I'm comfortable with Sapphire and talking about it. So turn 2, you've got your Tipo out. Turn 3, turn 3, I've got 3 ink by then, and I'm gonna ink somebody to get Cinderella out. So by turn 4, I'm sitting with 6 ink, which is just wild to me. And the 6 ink drops your Goliath, your Tinkerbell. If you're playing against someone aggro, Tinkerbell's an awesome drop doing 1 damage to everyone. You're either getting out like an Amari and another 1 cost. Like, the options with this deck are so wide. Like, once you've hit that 6 ink mark, and then you're moving on to your 7, Hades is coming out, getting rid of somebody, Vincenzo Santorini dropping 3 damage on someone. And the Headless Horseman is such a fun card. The first time I played it, we had to read it multiple times, but basically you're both drawing 3 cards and discarding 3 at random, and for every song discarded that way, you're getting to do 2 damage to a chosen character. Not 2 characters, you pick 1 character and you're throwing all that damage at them. The songs, I love Beyond the Horizon because you're using all your cards to get that ink as fast as you can. Chances are you've got 1 or 2 cards in your hand. And chances are one of them's a Hades or a Vincenzo, some of those bigger cost cards. So Beyond the Horizon is super helpful. And then of course, He Hurled His Thunderbolt is just a super fun one to play. So I didn't want to say the Cinderella was super duper useful. A lot of times I'll find too many in my hand. I'll play one and then I'll try and use like a Tipo to get rid of one for more ink, or I just try and find ways to try and get rid of the excess when I have them in my hand. Honestly, this Kita, this 4-cost Kita, just exerting her to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, 1 into your inkwell and 1 on the top, is insanely helpful, especially when you've already got a Cindy down. You're sitting at like 6 ink and you need someone bigger. You're either gonna like top deck something uninkable. I don't know, the Kita has saved me countless times. I'm still kind of mind blown that I enjoy playing this Sapphire Steel deck, but I knew come chapter 10, Sapphire was going to be something I wanted to play. So again, here's the 2 decks that I'm currently playing and piloting. If you're just getting into this and have any questions, I'll put links to these decks as well as the other ones in the description of this video. And feel free to comment, ask questions. I think I've come far enough in my competitive Lorcana career that I can actually give advice and insight onto some of these decks and some of these cards. I constantly find myself building decks and like coming up with fun ideas. So I appreciate everyone sitting through this. Hopefully some of these decks are a good starting point for you or give you some sort of influence on something you might want to run at your league nights. We're still about a month and some change away from set champ, so I'm sure over the next few weekends the meta is going to change even more, but it is very cool to see it shift as much as it had since the last chapter, because I feel like with Fabled it was either Blurple or like the Amethyst Steel and then maybe the occasional dogs decks, but it's really cool to see it so mixed up and fun. So please hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel and want to stay up to date with everything I'm doing. Videos are dropping constantly and totally at random, aside from the Whispering Wednesdays. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for the channel members. Shout out to you 4. I appreciate everything. I appreciate the follows, the likes, the subscribes. You are all the best. And I will have a Thanksgiving video dropping on Thursday where I'm going to be hunting down some of the best Lorcana deals for you. So make sure you're on the lookout for that, because there are some amazing deals to be had in store and online. But until that video drops, enjoy the rest of your everything.